Yo, 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 welcome to Bottom of the Glass, a podcast dedicated to sharp takes, movie reviews, TV reviews, and conversations best had over a glass. Each episode, we break down movies, TV, what's going on, scene by scene, until there's nothing left of the glass or the screen. On the glass or the screen. Whatever. Take it. That's what you get. All right, guys. Welcome to today's episode. It is Sunday night. There is like a snowstorm happening right now. I have to somehow get to work tomorrow morning. I just shoveled, did all that stuff, so that's fun. So this is Bottom of the Glass. So obviously we have a drink. Today's drink is I'm somewhat of a White Russian. I kind of like didn't have much for alcohol this weekend, and I didn't go to the store, so I just wanted a White Russian, so that's what I got. Cheers. Got a lot of Kahlua in that. Yeah. So today we're gonna talk about some stuff. Tonight uh we have another episode of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I'm excited to do. I'm gonna watch that in a little bit. We also have uh what else? Here's talking. I'm sorry. Yeah, we also have we're gonna do a little bit of talking about some stuff in movies and TV. Uh, I want to do a little bit on the UFC fights from last night as well. So, let's start talking about UFC, uh, the UFC from last night. So I'm gonna pull it up so I can have the card on hand. UFC. It'd be easier if I had a producer, but I don't. So this is what we get. Me doing it. UFC. Yeah. So the UFC fights last night. All right. So last night for UFC, we had um Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett for the main event. We had Sean O'Malley versus Song Yatong. We had a heavyweight clash, Derek Lewis versus Acosta. And there was also a women's MMA fight that was Rose. She fought Silva. I still haven't pulled the card up, but I remember those ones. Yeah, there we go. It's not pulled up. So 324. So yeah, we had those fights, and to start the main card, we had uh we had Allen versus Silva at 145. So to start the card, I was watching it actually at the gym with my buddies. I was gonna stream it, but we were just kind of all like zoned out, tired. So I just like, we'll just watch it. Maybe I'll stream the next one. Yeah. So Allen versus Silva. Both are really Silva's really known for his knockout power. He probably would be fighting for a title right now if he didn't just lose to Lopez. He got beat with like a spinning elbow. Almost got submitted in round one as well. But he's known for like big knockouts. Also has a really good hit a really good ninja choke uh in one of his fights against can't remember him, the guy who loves Hitler. So he ninja choked that guy at 145. I love ninja chokes. It's one of my favorite submissions. I do it a lot. Just like he did on the cage. I also am really good at it in like just jiu-jitsu, pure jiu-jitsu, when people are doing like body lock passing. When people start doing these like they get both hands in, they'll squeeze those hips in for the body lock pass, which is really good. I'm really good at getting my hand under their chin just to lift their head up a little bit. And then I punch my hand straight through, and I kind of like rotate back towards that arm so I can get my tricep right over their head, and I lock that ninja choke. And I can usually get it like once or twice on someone who tries to do like really hard on the body lock pass. And it's not one of those moves that you can get a bunch on people because they kind of like, all right, now they kind of get it. Just got to change their head position a little bit, keep it tighter to the body, and they're safe. And then, bury their chin a little better. If you kind of like doing that body lock pass and you leave your chin up a little bit, you leave a little space to get that, and you're not doing the right things with your legs. People don't pummel their legs the right way. When I'm body lock passing, I make sure that again, this is like, I know some people don't care about jiu-jitsu, but I'm talking MMA, jiu-jitsu, everything. So, when you're doing that body lock passing, when you pull those hips in and you have your head, I take my side of my face and I put it against the ribs on the side that I'm going towards. And I also make sure that I kill the hook right away. So I'm gonna sprawl heavy on the far hook on the side that I'm going towards. So I'll sprawl my hip so I can scrape that hook off, and then I start doing that passing. So, but a lot of times when people start doing it, especially when they're learning, uh, they'll kind of leave their head there a little too long, and they're not doing the right things with their legs. So they're trying to just like jump over, which is hard to do, especially when you're with somebody who's got a good butterfly guard. I got a good butterfly guard, so I'll keep my hooks attached, and then I can sink that choke in. Yeah. So uh, back to that. That was Silva versus Allen. So again, Silva is really good at that. He's good at that choke. He's really good at big knockout shots. Um, and then Brandon Allen was like really good boxer, really good, just like traditional, good footwork, good movement, good. He can knock people out, but he's gonna beat you by volume and points. I know he came off a loss he lost to Holloway, then he's coming off a win on this one. He's definitely like a top 10, really good guy. He's getting up there, but every time he starts getting there, he fights a guy like Holloway or this time Silva. And uh, in that fight, the first round, he's doing a really good job with moving a lot. And Silva wasn't being very action oriented. He was really trying to almost seemed like he was trying to conserve himself. But once he started to unload, especially like in the beginning and the end of the rounds, like end of the first round, it was close. I thought maybe you could have gave that round. You gave that round to Allen probably, but that ending of that round almost made it like it could have been Silva just because he had that burst at the end. And the big difference was just every time Silva would land, it was power. It was you could hear it, you could see it. There was just a different look. Allen had some good there was a knee on round 2 on the cage that was really good. I think he could have done better at striking and get into these he was getting into these kind of clinch positions onto the cage a couple times, and he seemed like he was good there. I think he could have done that to dirty box a little bit better because he realized I would say pretty early in round 2, you could see he didn't move the same. I think his coaches were telling him to. He was tiring himself out with that style. That style of moving around a lot and jumping around. It's a lot on your legs. It's not really a style that I was never at that level, but it's not a style that I was ever good at. It's exhausting, and it's also just uh, if you're not like really efficient at it, and you're running a lot, and not running, but moving away a lot, you're gonna gas yourself out. So I think that's kind of what you saw in that fight. And then Silva takes the decision, which honestly I think both guys did really good, but I don't think Silva getting that win, even though it was a good fight, a good win, it was a fun fight to watch. I don't think he puts himself near contention. I mean, maybe if there's a possibility because Volkanovski could beat Lopez again, which is I would say like a 60-40. He probably will win again, but he could lose because he is on the older side. He's fighting the same guy. He almost got beaten that first fight. It could go to Lopez. If Lopez wins, I don't think there's any way Silva gets a title shot. I still don't think he's gonna get one right now after this fight. I think he'll need another fight, but he has more of a chance if Volkanovski wins because they haven't fought, so that would make it a fight that would okay. This makes sense. It's a new fight. If Volkanovski keeps fighting, I don't know how long he will. To me, he's one of my favorite fighters. I mean, Holloway is probably my favorite at that weight class, but Volkanovski beat him 3 times. Oh, I think twice. I think one of them I think he lost, but at least 2 of them he won. Okay. Next we got Rose versus Silva. It was an interesting fight. I want to just pull up the stuff. Yeah, this was an interesting fight because um it seemed like they were going to give the decision to Rose, just from the way the commentators were saying, and um it seemed like Rose was doing a little bit better in the first 2 rounds. But she was doing a little bit better in the first couple rounds. In the third round, Silva came on strong, and she came on strong in the third round, and that was the best round of the 3 rounds. So technically, that first round, third round. The second round was clearly Rose. Third round was clearly Silva. And the third round was probably the best, like the most dominant round of the 3 rounds. That first one was really close. So I would have gave it to Rose, but again, I only watched it once, and I was watching it with people, and half paying attention. There were a lot of jokes going around that I'm not going to talk about right here because it gave me banned on whatever because we were just being stupid, making jokes. But um, that first round, it was close. So I could see them giving it to Silva. If they give that first round to Silva, second round was clearly Rose. She had some top control and stuff with the takedown. But yes, Silva definitely did a better job in the third round. Just seemed like the quicker fighter the whole time, but she started letting her hands get in kicks go. We were talking about it when we were watching. She's got a really weird rhythm where it seems like just like kind of Allen did in the beginning. It's a lot of energy, I would say, to do that, but she didn't seem like it was affecting her. She has it's like a kind of a herky jerk rhythm where she's almost got like the traditional top, but just like with like a little more. She's always feinting with her legs and feinting with her hands, and then she has like some cool kicks. Uh, what I was a little worried for her in the third round was if she lost that first round, she was definitely winning that third round. But I just didn't see any way that she was gonna either of them really were gonna get a finish, unless maybe they were like a submission. Just none of them were really. They all took each other's shots pretty well, and you usually like all right. If you start taking it, if you take a couple solid shots, and it's a third round, especially in the women's division, like you're like all right, well, they need to be like a big head kick, or there needs to be like a submission to get the finish, and didn't seem like any of them were gonna get that. So that was that fight. And we'll go to the next fight, uh, Cortez Acosta versus Lewis. So I'm a big fan of Derek Lewis. I love Derek. I love the post fight, his post fight, his post fight. What happened to your pants? I don't know. Dude, he just took his pants off. It's like my balls were hot. I love Lewis. He's the best. He's hilarious. Always a good like when sometimes he'll just get these big knockouts on these guys who are like clearly more technical than him, but that's where it shows like where power and that kind of stuff matters. And I think he always has that ability. I think I know he's like around 40 right now, and heavyweights can usually go a little longer. But he's had bad fights before. This is not like his first bad fight where he kind of looked outclassed. But I do think he looked the lowest I've ever seen him. The most old, and I don't mean that in like a bad way. He looked old and slow in this fight in comparison to his younger, faster opponent. Bigger, faster, younger, everything. That guy is a real like modern day heavyweight where even at like 260 or whatever weight he was at, I think he's like 265, like at the upwards of the weight class. He's tall. He was a professional baseball player or like a high level baseball player from what they were saying. Which I would love to see how much different he looked because there's no way he was 260 playing in the outfield and they said mostly pitching. I mean, I guess he could be like a Derek Wells pitching with the like a big gut, but I mean, he didn't have a big guy. He was just a big guy, but he was light on his feet. Kind of reminded me of like a Travis Brown without like the stance switches as much, but just light on his feet, flicking the jab. And Derek Lewis couldn't touch him. Could barely hit the arrow a foot from his face. There were some combos that looked so far away. The shot that dropped Derek Lewis, I thought maybe Derek Lewis might have hurt his knee on that one because of the way he dropped. But from like the third replay, you could see where it hit him kind of solid. It was almost like a phantom punch, like when Ali knocked up that guy with like that punch. It kind of looked sketchy, but when you see it from certain angles, you're like, all right. I mean, you can walk into shot. If you walk into shot, it's just way worse. I mean, uh, one of the knockouts out when I fought, it was just like, I really, I got this really good knock. So that's kind of what happens. Like when the other person can walk into a shot, and that'll end the night. All right, so that was the heavyweight fight, and then after that we got what I would say this was probably like I like O'Malley and I like Song. I like both guys a lot. Um, O'Malley, I would say a couple years ago, I thought was like a little overhyped. Even when he was champion, he was really good. I really liked. He had a really good like knockout win to win the title against Aljamain. He's really good. I think as a person, I think he's had a kid. I think he's like the way he's acting. Uh, I can like I understand more now. It's like because I'm in like that kind of point in my life, so I can like relate to him better. When he was just like the young kind of crazy guy, I was already a little too old to relate to him. But I understand like all the younger fans really liked him. I really he's always been really good. I've always thought he was good. I thought he's had issues in certain areas like wrestling against really good wrestlers maybe, and some leg kick stuff. But in this fight, really good fight, really hard, tough fight. Both guys are so technical, so good. But then O'Malley in the third round really just took over, and almost you wanted to see 5 rounds because it felt like a title fight. So it kind of felt like, all right, this is a championship. If you're going from 3, 4, 5, I just think O'Malley is going to end up finishing him because just he started rolling. It felt like in the third round he was just landing combos, pulling back. The way he slips, moves his head, and pull back, hit his like straight right. He still has a great jab the whole time. Good kicks. They both did good with the kicks. Song especially had some good leg kicks. Was really hitting the calf a lot, trying to attack O'Malley's what you would say was some people would say was weakness because he's had difficulties with leg kicks. But I mean, I think that's just a fight. One fight you get a couple or 2 fights. He's had like a couple leg injuries, and people think that's forever. But you get hit in certain spots, and is what it is. So there's not much you can do with that. And then we get to the main event. I would say this main event shows a few things. Gaethje versus Pimblett. It shows one, Pimblett he's great. I like Pimblett a lot. It's fun. Seems like a good guy. Seems fun. He's not a top. I never thought he was they're trying to advertise him as Conor McGregor. And whether you like or not, don't like McGregor on his run at 45, to this day, I'll still say that was the best title run in UFC history. Just the guys he beat, the way he beat everybody, and the confidence as he did it with the talking, that was like, and it was very natural. It wasn't like when he got a little later on, or it's a little more staged. He's already doing really well. This was just natural. This is just the way he really felt and really was. He was just that good. Pemba isn't that guy. He never was that guy. He's great, really great at what he does. In this fight, he didn't try to do any of the things that he's really great at. He didn't try to wrestle nearly enough. Like, I don't think very little that wasn't shots. He was trying to strike with Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje is a brawler, but he is just way more technical. The way he moves, the way he can move his head. You could see that he trains with Trevor Whitman. You could see that. Like they do these drills. You could see in their some of their videos. Uh, they have like on BJJ Fanatics or wherever that like the other site is that they do that stuff. Some of the striking tutorials they do, you could see he's using that the way he's moving, cutting the angles, hitting, landing shots. He's got obviously way more power. Like he said at the end, Pimblow's got a really good chin because he took some really solid shots. I watched I saw a little clip of it on the UFC Instagram page, and there was like fans who were commenting like he went down so easy, and that you could just see like these are people who don't know what it's like to get punched in the face by Justin Gaethje, or anybody in that matter. Because if you get punched in the face like that, I mean, the many times shots he took, and these people don't know fighting, so it's like you watch this, and again, I'm just like a whatever pro fighter who didn't do great, right? 500 record or a little less than that. And I can watch this and be like, yeah, no. These are small gloves, power shots, landing the whole time, 5 rounds. I mean, and Pimblett survived. So he did great at surviving. But I would say even Gaethje, he looked great, but he doesn't look like, even though he's the interim champion now, I really hate the interim stuff. He doesn't look like the UFC champion. I mean, he looks really good. He could beat anybody in that division. But if you look at a guy like Armin and Ilya Taporia, they just seem like levels ahead of these guys right now. And part of it is like, Gaethje's like the oldest lightweight champion of all time. So there's that probably too. I just think like Tapuria, the speed and the way he throws his combos. That guy trains, the way he trains is he trains each discipline separately, which is something I've always done. Obviously not nearly as good. But I think that there is something to that, the way he's just gotten so good at everything. And then Armin, his jiu-jitsu grappling against Hooker, it just looks world class. I would like to see, I would have, if Topuria is going up to 170, I'd like to see Armin fight Gaethje. I think that would be a good fight. I think Armin is the most deserved for the belt, uh, or for the title shot in that weight class. You know, way more than Pimblett, and I like Pimblett. It's not a hate on him, but yeah, way more than him. I'd actually like to see Pimblett and Hooker now. That'd be a great fight. Uh, so yeah, that's my breakdown of 234 UFC. Yeah, next week is Volkanovski. I'm gonna pull that one up so I can read the card. Have they posted it yet? Don't know if they already posted it, but yeah. So next week is the rematch with Volkanovski and DL Lopez for 325. I like these Paramount fights. I like that it's at 9 o'clock because I'm on the East Coast. East Coast 9 o'clock. It's like a little early. I ended up leaving the gym yesterday. Like I watched it at my coach's gym. I left at like 11:15, like right after the heavyweight fight. I left, got home, watched I missed like a half a round and saw the O'Malley song fight, but I just rewinded it and kind of later on I watched the rest of it. But I watched that fight, then I watched the next fight, and I went to bed around midnight ish. And it was nice to be like, it's nice that I'm not, usually those UFC events, like if I would have stayed out the whole night, it's like you're leaving at 1, and you're like, how hard, it's just hard at at 34, 2 kids to stay up till 1 in the morning out somewhere else watching fights. Again, try not to, you can't drink that much because you're driving, so it's like, I'll have like a beer. I think I had 2 beers last night because I'm driving the rental too. I had like 2 beers, so I'm not like gonna get a ride home or anything like that, and I'm trying to be careful. So yeah, it's interesting how you're like, when I was 25, I would just be like, oh, I could just go to the bar and just drink and then just, crack at somebody's house or something. But now, as a 34-year-old, you're like, yeah, I'm so happy they're at 9 now. I mean, I would like 8. 8 would be great, but I guess that would be, probably a little too early to start a main card at 5 o'clock in like California on the Pacific Standard Time or whatever. That would probably be a little too early. I get it. Even 6 is probably early for some of that stuff, but it's a lot better. I like it a lot, and it's a free card. The promotion wise, like I thought some of the opening UFC promo was really cool. I definitely think you could see that there was a lot of. At first I was like, there's a lot of advertising, which there was advertising throughout the stuff. That didn't bother me. But I think like the first fight didn't start till in the main card didn't start till after 9:20. But I also think they had a lot of cancellation fights too. So it probably slowed. They had to like kind of draw back a little bit where they had less prelim fights. They had the same amount of main card fights, but they had to pull back that prelim card to make it last longer. So they had to add more like advertisement in it, which and more like their promo stuff. So it made sense. I thought it was a decent first card. They were all good fights. It wasn't a crazy amount of finishes. I'm sure they were annoyed about that. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was great. I was a little like surprised in how like way more like a big card to start it off, but it's January and they don't usually do that. So yeah, we'll see how it keeps going, but I'm excited about the future of their cards. So yeah, next week we have Volkanovski Lopez rematch, exciting fight. Both guys, in that first fight, obviously Volkanovski got the win. Lopez had some really good moments. It'll be exciting to see. I think both guys are really good. I think Volkanovski is uh the longer the fight goes, the better chance he has. He's a lot more crafty than Lopez. Lopez has really good boxing and he's got great jiu-jitsu and submissions and grappling. But I think he has to win in the first 2 rounds. But I could be wrong. So that's one of the ones I'm not 100% sure, because from that last fight, you're like, I don't know, both guys had really good moments, and I don't think either guy could have gotten so much better. I mean, Lopez could have gotten a lot, could have made real improvements. I just don't see how Volkanovski is going to get way better now. I think, as I love Volkanovski, I think he's only going to go downhill, and that's not a diss. He's one of my favorite fighters, but he's got to keep himself on top right now. He's really got to like yeah, I think he's really got to uh, do the most as what he can, stretch these fights out as long as he can to beat people with skill, because he's not gonna. He can't. He used to be a fast, strong, powerful guy who could really beat people up and dominate early. I don't think it's gonna be harder to do the older you get, especially at that weight class. These smaller weight classes, these guys can the younger guys can go so much longer, so much harder and faster and early. It's when the bigger you get, like the slower you're gonna move, the more the age you can get a little bit older in these weight classes, especially heavyweight. And it might change in UFC because it just seems like these guys are just like in NFL. Like you can't be a. It's really hard to be a 37-year-old running back. It might get like that. The better athletes that get into MMA. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right. So next, we are gonna do. So I'm gonna do a little kind of preview thing. So I want to talk a little bit about one of my favorite video game movies. I'm probably gonna do a full review on this with one of my buddies, Nick Chanthachek. Shout out to Nick Chanthachek. Nikki, I hope you hear this. I'm gonna do like a real preview on it, but I want to just do a little. I want to do a little quick 10-minute little talk about this, maybe 5 minutes. So these are movies that I want to do every once in a while. Do movies that are undervalued, that have bad ratings on online, but are just for kids who were born in the early '90s at least, have just a special place in our heart. And to me, it's gonna be out of all video game movies that are notoriously bad. Even and because of the years I was born, I'm guessing when I watched these movies, they were always a couple of them were really good to me, but this one was great. This is Mortal Kombat 1. Um, I was a giant Mortal Kombat fan. I had Sega Genesis. I had the 1, 2, 3, 4 was on PlayStation. I remember, maybe a couple on PlayStation, but I had definitely had Sega Genesis 1 and 2. Mortal Kombat, huge fan. I love Liu Kang right away. He's pretty much Bruce Lee. If you guys have watched episodes, you know how much I like Jackie Chan, Jet Li, and Bruce Lee. So he was pretty much Bruce Lee. That's what he was. And when I first played Mortal Kombat 1, what was I? What I'm gonna actually double check what year Mortal Kombat 1 came out. I think it was probably. Pretty much. I was born in '91, so the release date, Mortal Kombat game release. That just tells me when the next one comes out. One. So Mortal Kombat came out in 1992, so I was 1 years old. So by the time I started playing this, I was probably like 8, 7, 8. I was playing like 1, 2, and 3 right away, probably. Um, but I remember having part 1, and I remember getting part 2. I probably had both of them at the same time. And then what I really like at like full video game peak was Mortal Kombat 4, which I had on PS2. That's the one where they started adding the weapons. And what I would use my guy was Liu Kang with the sword. He pulls out the sword. Liu Kang was the best character to fight Goro in Mortal Kombat 4 because you could just jump kick him. I could beat that game on expert mode, like beat all the guys expert mode all the way up. Smoke Goro, smoke the next guy. I could do it in like for me, it's not like the best video gamer ever, but back then I had played a lot. I was really good and I could beat like, everyone in my family at that game. So I loved it. I used him or I would use, there was a character named Rico and Rico would pull like a big, club with like spikes on it. And I used him a lot too. And then, Shang-Chi was always, Quan Chi was really cool too. He would shoot this like skeleton that was like coming at you. It would get you. But Liu Kang was my number one. And then later on, they got to like they added Deadly Alliance. And I remember yeah, Deadly Alliance. I used to play that game with my brother, my dad, and my old brother-in-law, ex-brother-in-law, I guess, but my brother-in-law. We'd play that game, and he would use Raiden, and so Raiden had to strike with the staff where he'd hit low, and he'd come back up and hit high, and it was the most bullshit move ever. It was straight button mashing, cheating, scamming of a move, and he would do it all day. So you'd have to sit there and you have to block low, block high, block low, block high. And it was just the most boring game ever, but I would lose all the time. I'd throw the remote across the room, get angry. He would like do it, and then he'd like talk trash, really good at talking trash. It would drive me crazy. So yeah, that was that was my Mortal Kombat thing. So the movie was great. The movie had it was Liu Kang. There was Johnny. They had the for me like the pure members. Liu Kang, Johnny Cage. It had Sonya Blade, and Jax was in it for a second in the beginning. He was actually in the second one. Which, to be honest with you, I still like the second one. I know the second one's considered really bad. I liked it. I didn't like how they changed. It was a different Sub-Zero and all that, and I didn't like how they changed Sonya Blade, because Sonya Blade in the first one was Billy Madison's teacher, and she was great. But I still like that one too. But the first one's amazing. And the guy, what's his name, who played Shang. Let me pull that up too, because I'm really bad with names. But the guy who plays Shang Tsung in it, he's also the grandfather in and Johnny Tsunami, which is a great Disney movie. um, so he plays in that one. Why don't you show me the old one? I want the old movie. Mortal Kombat cast. 1995 cast. All right. Because I'm really bad with names. Yeah, Robin Shou played Liu Kang. He was in Beverly Hills Ninja with Chris Farley. That was great. Christopher Lambert, Raiden. Christopher Lambert's the man. Who doesn't love Highlander? Highlander's a top 10 movie of mine of all time. It's great. Really excited for the remake. That's gonna be directed by same director who does John Wick's. He's doing that one. That's gonna be really good, and it's got Henry Cavill, which is exciting. Yeah. So his name is Cary Tagawa, who played Shang Tsung. He's in like a lot. He's in, like I said, he's in Showdown in Little Tokyo, Johnny Tsunami, and then he's in some other, like, a bunch of action movies. And he was one of the best. He was just when you get to the best movie villains of all time, he might have an honorable mention or be in the top 10. He was a great Shang Tsung. When he's like, your soul is mine. The commitment to that guy, you would think it was like the biggest movie of all time. And I loved it. I'm a basic man. I like alcohol. I like funny jokes, and I like action. Like, I like fight tournaments. I like a movie where there's a TV show or a movie. I like, you're fighting this guy. Now you're fighting this guy. Now you're fighting this guy. That's why the Raid 2 movies are great, because you're just going up and up and up, and you just keep getting to another level of another person to fight. You're another room, another fight. This is what Mortal Kombat, it's a tournament. You're just fighting another guy. Now you fight another guy. I can watch that all day long. I used to like there's some action movies that I like that people would say are awful. Like Condemned with Steve Austin. You're just fighting. It's like Hunger Games, but with WWF stars. I can watch that. I like it. I like stupid action movies, Sometimes we don't need The Godfather. Sometimes we need to see somebody to get their, we need to get somebody to get a spear through their chest, or frozen in midair and then breaking glass. That movie was great. And some of the things in that movie that make me laugh to this day is if I watch that movie, Mortal Kombat 1, 1995, and they're doing the dinner scene, they get all this crazy dinner when they get to this island, this sketchy island. There's ghosts, spirits coming out. These people are like, what the hell's going on? They get this great meal. They get the meal, and about 3 seconds into their meal, there's like a fight demo happening, and all the tables get flipped, and they don't get to eat any of those turkey legs they had. They had these giant turkey legs. None of them. They get flipped. The whole tables get flipped. Why set up the area if you're going to just flip the tables and not let these people eat their food? And then Sub-Zero's one of the coolest characters of all time in Mortal Kombat, right? A classic character. If you say Sub-Zero, people don't even know Mortal Kombat know the character. He's just such a cool character. And he comes out, And this guy is like flexing, he's doing all the stretching things, showing his muscles, shadow boxing like crazy. He's kicking the shit out of the air, but he's, a football field away from Sub-Zero. And then he runs to Sub-Zero, flying kick, lets Sub-Zero get all his ice power up, gets frozen, smashed into pieces. I don't know if that guy knew that's what's going to happen, but I was thinking, he's probably like, I thought we were just doing a demo, man. And then you're going to freeze me in midair and break me. So, yeah, that happens. Just the whole movie is just, I don't want to ruin it all right now because I'm going to do an actual review with my buddy Nick on this movie, but just keeps going. It's just great. The guy who plays Kano in it is amazing. The Australian accent, he's great in it. I mean, he gets killed pretty easily. It's kind of him and the Sonya Blade fight is pretty mid for that. You could tell they were like the only two like non-martial artists because that fight was awful. But he just gets his neck broken, but you get some good fights like the Scorpion versus Johnny Cage fight is great. The whole fight is great. Yes, it's a little ridiculous that they start in the tree area, and Scorpion's has like a full like snake coming out of his hand. I always thought it was just like a spear he threw, but in this movie it was like a big snake that would come out and grab you, and yeah. But then once they get to like the underworld area, like with the like all the wooden bridges and all that, look like they're like in almost like a graveyard or something. That was great. Once they got to that fight, the choreography was really fun, really good. You could tell they got real martial artists. And then the Liu Kang reptile fight. The Liu Kang and Shang Tsung fight was really good just because Shang Tsung, guy who was playing him, just did such a good job with commitment. But like, I didn't need to see him fight like the three warriors, like the warriors that came out. Those guys were lame. And then he just like turns to his brother real quick. That was like, okay, well, I saw you and I saw you turn into him. I know it's not you. I know you steal souls, but still, if you look at the movie like critically, yeah, a lot of weird things. But if you just enjoy the action, it's great. The Liu Kang reptile fight is amazing. The bicycle kick, I've tried to do the bicycle kick on pads. It's impossible, but I love it. So that's my Mortal Kombat take. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm gonna have another longer Mortal Kombat take. But yeah. So what else do we got going on? So we do have the Oscars nominations just came out, so I'm gonna pull some of those up. Now I am in the process of watching all these movies. I never watch all the Oscar movies because it's a lot of movies that are just not my style. If you guys know my style, it's gonna be like kind of shitty action movies. I do like I love Paul Thomas Anderson, so I really liked One Battle to the Other. The one thing I'll say about some of these Oscar things now is what you hear. Everything's political. I get it. I listen to a lot of political stuff, but everyone's political, and I probably, some of these people, even I can agree with people in certain areas when they talk about like, woke movies or this or that, but like the Sinners and the One Bad Off the Other, it's just like I hear all these like people who are like making these political statements about the movies, and for me, it's like I just thought they were good movies. I just enjoyed the movie to cut it in the political sense. I'm sure if I did, I could be annoyed by stuff in one way or the other. I'm sure I could, but I don't watch a lot of movies to like build political opinions. I look at them as movies. One Bad Off the Other, I just thought Leonardo DiCaprio was great in it. I thought Benicio del Toro, whatever. I thought del Toro. I thought he was great in the movie. I loved him as like the sensei in the in the martial arts studio, which was great. Again, because like if you have a martial arts studio, you have this guy in it. I'm gonna like it. If, I'm gonna like him. And I thought he was great in it. And then Sean Penn, who I think is like a jackknob of a person. He's just annoying. He just thinks, this is the guy who like talks about like American people, like how awful we are, but then he'll go and he'll hang out with like the cartel members or something. He's just, he's can't take him seriously in his like in that stuff, but like as an actor, he's amazing. And in that movie, he was great. I just thought the whole movie was fun. It was funny. It had good action when it needed to have action. It's not like a fight movie where you have like fights all the time, but like the way they did that chase at the end was really cool. I just thought the movie was fun. I really liked it. I was gonna say it was like my number one for a little while, favorite movie of the year. But then when I really look back on movies I liked, I really think I think it was really good. I do think it was better than Sinners. People like I like Sinners. Some people are like hating on Sinners. And then again, I think that's like an anti trying to be like an anti-political thing. Like they're oh, it was like because there's a lot of a full black cast and they were like killing white vampires. But I just thought the movie was fun. I don't really care of like that kind of perspective of the movie. I thought the movie worked. I thought it worked in the relation to the time that they were doing. I thought it was really good. I really liked the Irish vampires doing the, like the jig, the doing the uh Michael Flatley dancing and all that. I just enjoyed it. I thought, yeah, it was a little Dust Till Dawn a little bit, but I think that's kind of how a lot of vampire movies are. It's like you got to get, you're just trying to get away to get to vampires. If you have a movie with vampires in one night, it's gonna be like Dust Till Dawn. But it did it like entirely differently. I still like Dust Till Dawn better. So take that what you will. I liked Sinners a lot. That was really good. Um, and then what I think is one of my favorite movies of the year. I don't know about. I would say probably favorite. It's probably Weapons. I think Krieger, the director, is like amazing. The movie he did Barbarians before that was a movie I watched, not having any idea if it was gonna be great. I just kind of heard on a podcast it was good, and I thought it was amazing. And then Weapons, I thought was even better. The way they do the way he does the shooting, it's almost a Christopher Nolan-esque, where it's this guy's perspective. Amy Madigan, who's I think she's up for the Oscars. She's up for best supporting actress. I think she's a lock to win that. I think she definitely should win it. Um, she was amazing as like the crazy like witch lady. Um, the movie's amazing. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that movie in detail, but if you haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it. If you like horror movies, it's really good. It's just like dark and even the ending's like it's just crazy. But that was a great movie. So Oscars. So for like nominations, so for best director, I'm just gonna do a couple topics because I haven't seen all the movies. I'm actually gonna read some of the movies I have to watch, which I'm gonna watch soon. So movies I'm gonna see before it's in March, so I got a little time. So for movies that I really have to watch, I watched Frankenstein, so I saw that. So I have to watch Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, F1, and Hamnet. And then there's Secret Agent and Train Dreams, which I might get to, but I'll definitely get to F1, which is I don't know how I haven't watched. I just don't have Apple, so now I gotta get Apple to watch that movie. But I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch Marty Supreme. Those are movies I like. I like the what are they called? I like the directors of who did the director did Marty Supreme. His which one was it? I know the director. Oh, it was Josh Safdie. So I know the Safdie brothers. They did a couple other movies that were really good. The other Safdie brother just did the movie with The Rock, Smashing Machine, which I'm gonna watch probably tomorrow because now it just came out on HBO. But I know that story really well. I've seen the documentary a bunch. But he also did the one with Adam Sandler. So yeah, that's gonna be. I'm gonna watch that movie. I haven't gone and seen it because I wasn't a movie that I'm not super into like the topic of the movie, but I think it's more than what I was thinking. So definitely watch that before it comes out, and then I saw Begonia, that was good. Wicked weird movie, but I think Jesse Plemons is amazing. I think he should have been up, maybe not like in the top five likelihood to win, but I definitely think he should have been nominated. But yeah, I'm gonna watch F1, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sentimental Values for sure. Sentimental Value. Hamnet, I'm probably not gonna like. I know it's like a really sad movie. It's not really my style, but I'm gonna watch it and just so I can say that I watched it before these awards. But I think it's like gonna be best director. I think I think PTA is. I mean, he's one of the best directors. I mean, of all time. I mean, you know, I think he's definitely gonna win that award. And then I think best actor is probably gonna go, from what everyone's saying, is gonna go to Marty Supreme. Um, so yeah, we will see. I want to click on Marty Supreme real quick. So I can see this is why I need a producer. Yeah, so I definitely think Timothy Chalamet and Murray Supreme is probably going to win it from what they're saying. It's either be him or Leo. I hope Leo wins, even though I haven't seen the Marty yet, but I just like Leo. I think he's great in that movie. Plays a really good, like, just like he's a confused dad trying to figure it out, and I think that's like a really good part for him to play. You know, he's just getting that old man acting now, and like I liked Revenant or whatever that he was in, that he won the award for, but I think this movie's way better than that movie. So it's just like I know it's every year you got to do with what you got to do, and I know he probably mostly won that award that year because they screwed him in Departed. But I do think he should win this year. And I really like Michael B. Jordan. I think Sinners is great. I think he did a good job. I just don't think the movie is great because of him. I just think it's everything else in the movie that makes it really fun. And I don't think the acting in it is what's like taking away. But it's not a good diss. I think it's great. This is just personal preference. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, that's the podcast today.